Yay. February 23. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Could've sworn it wasn't that loud last time. Whatever. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her, and that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping. No one's going to bail me out this time. And your first trial without your mentor helping you, because in all of them, it was our ghost. Our ghost. I'll be alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Is she allowed in here? She's 16, and they just let her be my co-counsel. For some reason. Look how shorty she is. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I mean, you were the one who took the case, and I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. What? There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. I thought the penalty was just life in prison. It was one... Oh, man. I guess killing cops gets you the death penalty. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Especially if it was like, third degree, premeditated. That's what they gotta do. They gotta prove it was premeditated. In order to get a harsher sentence. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The Coffin Queen. Haven't they seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why I've been raised with caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. You know, so me too. It's supposed to be salty fish eggs. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Salty fish eggs. Name, profession. Yeah, I'd be sick of this too. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. How did she pass those two? Did the bailiff hand them over? Did she frisbee them over? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Uh-huh. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. That's why she's called Cough Up Queen, because she gets people to cough up confessions. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes. The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. That's suspicious. That's suspicious. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. And apprehend her? She confessed. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. I'm not a loser. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Mister. Wait, are they talking about me? Everybody hates Phoenix in this courtroom. It's unbelievable. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finally home detective intuition network. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. You did a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. 'Tis but a scratch. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Okay. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. Thank you. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim and forging evidence. Killing off the detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. Just straight up giving us a motive why she'd be killed. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Blatant lie. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. Just This boyfriend. He's the detective? Not that boyfriend. The security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several.
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. Also, the defense and prosecution, they are boyfriends. They are gay lovers. The security guard room is in the lot, in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. So then why didn't the guards see it? Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I said something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese not yet tangled with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Emphasis on the white.
Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed, it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Yeah? Rookie? I solved 3 murder cases. Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me 4 murder cases. What? I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
She just threatened me. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. Oh, Lord. A photograph?
You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. What? I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. But also, what the heck? Witness, well, I'm only seeing this photograph just now. That's what I'd like to know. You think I show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. Ooh. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Wait, I wonder. Oh. 4-inch knife.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Crime photo. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Wait. Let me look at the picture again. Or in a raincoat, or that would... did she get that picture? She went in through this way, but it's, oh, she took through the wire fence. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Looks like a buck 120 hunting knife, the same knife used by Ghostface in the Scream franchise. Is that right, Mr. Edward? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs, but they don't know anything about a woman's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg, I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. She kills the chickens herself. So, the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Oh boy. Then she thrust the pointy tip into Detective Goodman's chest. Wait, let me look at the autopsy report. Death due to loss of blood. Died within the hour. Between... Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike. No, she was on the other side of the... No, wait a minute.
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late. Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Miss Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty pale to me. But what do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panic next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that.
Somehow, trust a flesh wound. I think she's trying to give me a hint. Like, would that be enough to kill him? 4 p.m. It's gotta be this. There's gotta be a contradiction here. No prints. Nope. One knife wound, died within an hour and a half. No. It's like the opposite of Mia's murder, because she died instantly, but this guy, he died within an hour. Ah, that's the moment of the crime, but it doesn't show her actually stabbing anybody. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Guy stab the victim with the knife? Sorry about that. As I've already said, yes. I swirled on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is this guy not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. Ooh!
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Yeah. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. That could be anything. It could be chocolate syrup. Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Objection! Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. Then, change your testimony. That's it! If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. Don't. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculated, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Oh, man. That would probably get her the death penalty. But premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made out of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
Oh yeah, I got you now. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Are you sure about that? Because... what if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. Then give me that evidence! They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Can I see these gloves? Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Gah!
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr.
This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking. Let's just keep her head cool and press the witness. Just a flesh wound. So I can't... The gloves were admitted as evidence, then why can't I see these gloves? Am I not cool enough to see the gloves? No, Mr. Wright, you are not cool enough to see the gloves. An hour and a half. If the murder was premeditated, why would she attack only once? Damn it. Of course not. Let me think. Flash. No, wait. I thought the handprints might have been a clue later. Ah. Oh. Phoenix seems to know something that I don't. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, our prosecutor's bad. Who brings their child to a murder trial? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Oh.
Order, order, order.
Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Don't celebrate yet. See, he's doing the face. He's doing the face. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is a humble pie. Ooh, sick burn.
What?
I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. No, you can read my mind. Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole into the whole premeditated theory.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's probably, that, Phoenix, that's in poor taste. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please only tell us what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. 67S. So sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Seriously, you're not even trying. That's a contradiction.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So if I order pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Alright, yeah, there's a contradiction. Yep. Shit! I didn't read that. No time. But she didn't. It was one knife wound. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Or you tested me, then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. Oh, Chris from Deltarune would love that. I'm afraid the moss has grown under our feet as we wait, Miss Star.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due from a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Ezra.
What a hunk. He's my hero, really. He's gay. What about my objection? No one noticed. He's stealing my thunder.
Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set, right? Poor taste.
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Okay, red muffler, red muffler. She wasn't wearing a red muffler. Miss Star, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph.
Huh? But that... it can't be.
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver?
But there was there a scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really? Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interview, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of their testimony. The most important part? Did she... Can everyone read Phoenix's mind? Is he like Garfield? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Citizen's arrest. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused my earlier testimony. What? The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bit. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Actually, it's a venomous snake. Because poison, if you bite, it's not a poisonous snake, it's a venomous snake. Because venom is what is injected to
Never. No one cares about the difference.
Between poison venom. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Whew, an oil drum, hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one, a leopard woman. I'd like to request that the witnesses be stricken from the record.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? He quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course.
Amazing. The cough of Queen Lunch Lady athlete indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. JK. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word. She could have been talking about the muffler of a car. So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately. My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order.
So she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. It's the law! The word muffler was overheard during her call me to Emma at... Oh, wait a minute! No, it wasn't! She didn't. She hung up immediately, did she not? You look like I do during finals. Never mind. It's nothing. Nothing? What do you mean, nothing? Nope. Damn it. Okay, so it can't. No way, they already... How to use a social set. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind a partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the
chain-link fence.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? The chief prosecutor made two escapes against it. I just need to prove that she couldn't have seen him. But why couldn't she have seen him? Yeah. 5:18. Within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. He'd still be alive when she made that call. Wait a minute. Oh, no. She couldn't have because of the wall. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the foreplans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in the B block, you couldn't have seen it. What?
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies! That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie the witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about what she saw. Oh, fuck. What she saw. Obviously, right? She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Skye using that emergency phone.
It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical.
What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Phoenix, a woman died. Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Star lie like that? Huh? Why would you say that my sister tried to use the phone but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Oh, dang, she's right. I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone? I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the patooey on rice, right?
Mr. Wright, and I thought you had something here. Damn it!
The order of events. She lied about the order of events. Miss Skye used that emergency phone before the murder. I see. I hadn't thought of that. This is also the wrong one. That took the wind out of her sails. Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're... Damn it! Okay. where she saw it. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location. Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed this crime was here. It's highly likely that's where she was. The music stopped. Is that a good thing? You think? It's highly likely? Your cavalier attitude stands in stark contrast to your feeble argument, Mr. Wright. Oh shit, our being there wouldn't change a thing! Damn it! Yes, Ron. Let's see. The testimony, where she witnessed the crime. Security room!
The security guard room? I did it!
Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot. It is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime at the back of the partition is here. I remember during our testimony, you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has gotten the better of Angel Star. Order, witness. Yeah, Phoenix, you misogynist.
What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty. Is she talking about the sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime for the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without good reason. Yeah.
So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Kangaroo Court. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the second... Fuck. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Well, obviously it would change the view of the crime. Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
Fuck. The security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime.
And this is important. Why?
Um... Okay. Well, it would have to be the distance to the crime. Yes, sir, if this is wrong. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. Oh, good. What she saw was not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness?
You. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunch has gone from low to inedible. Hey, calamari rings are epic, dude. They are epic. Don't. I was bringing the PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the Glasswell station. But why would you lie about that? And before I know what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. We just need... Ugh. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
Oh boy. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. That's less time, isn't it?
5 minutes. This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. No, you only have photographic evidence of what happened after the crime. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Yeah, I have to agree with the judge on that. Would you like another caviar lunch? Stop bribing it! God damn it! Uh-oh. You have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? No. Always objects. That's the one thing I'm good at. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. What about the time it takes to boil the water? I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of this crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony.
So therefore, we can't trust her.
Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close.
I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Oh, fuck. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I'll eat it. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Ooh. Also, I only eat hamburgers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Star.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker, you fucker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll...
Corruption.
Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the lunch end motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? A gun! I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Scott. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? And how have you not run out of lunch boxes? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood test performed. Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. I'm not even gonna dignify that with the response. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Mr. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Damn. Edgeworth got updated autopsy reported. How does it feel, Edgeworth? Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. Yeah, because now he knows what it feels like to get hit with surprise evidence that you could at least study some evidence off. Really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Finally, I can look at the shoe.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Let me look at that shoe first. This blood. It's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. But it couldn't have been with a knife. Because the knife only has the victim's blood. So that cut... I should have mentioned that it was 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. Oh, she's talking about you, Edgeworth. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This one, the suspect is admitting she did it.
The false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Star.
Now, I'd say murder or League of Legends. Those are worse.
Let's just get this over with.
And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? No, you didn't. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful. I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now, tell us what you did next.
2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One, of course, was the victim's. So, you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensic expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman? As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. Yes, you can. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from blood tests whether a murder was committed in cold blood. Phoenix, what are you doing?
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample blood down to just 1 person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but this Lana Skye. Wait, so they didn't actually do a blood test on the second type of blood?
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was gonna say that. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Ew. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? There has to be. My client is innocent. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's see what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence.
There's blood on the bottom. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. That's a threat. Can't we indict her for that? Can't we order in contempt of court for that?
Indeed, there was quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? autopsy report? I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too. You just shot yourself in the foot. You're like a grinder. Okay, hold on. Come on. Oh. So I just gotta do again? Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Fine. Blood on the bottom of the shoe. Yeah, can't say so. 3 tries. Better make them count. Okay. There was no blood at the scene of the crime. The problem lies in the footprint. Nailed it. The footprint. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe was covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order, order. Well, witness?
What? I better not pull out another lunchbox. Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh.
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, and she's beautiful, but deadly. Oil drum. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth, though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Aha! You don't mean.
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her. But then why wouldn't she get rid of the other evidence? Get rid of the knife, get rid of the fucking, clean the knife out of my arm.
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence. Oh, she's talking about you, Edgeworth. That reminds me. This guy's Wright handles her. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when. My sister's blood gone on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Little gal, what did you just say?
Huh? Me?
Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints.
Well...
I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Looks like beans.
Witness, don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. You mean that's gonna hold her in contempt of court, not threatening to kill me? Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. Oh! A photograph.
A photograph?
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet.
There is no way a shoe would fall off a foot like that. No way that in hell that would happen.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Never give up. Trust your instincts. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Your Honor.
Wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whichever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. All the different evidence that's in that photograph. So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Later on, I've got to go ahead with this. Better save.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph.
Okay. The muffler. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor.
You just said muffler.
I was right. She was talking about a car muffler.
But I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe.
I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Star, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What? Let's see what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to the case.
It has to be, right? Miss Star, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. Muffler. Ugh. What was that noise? Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Ugh. Woo!
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Woo! Sus! 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 Sus!
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so. Whew. That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry. Do 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 do.